Thanks, Madam Chair. I just want to preface my comments with congratulations to staff for some superb documents produced, for the clarity of those, and my experience, these are a refinement which has really led to a step change in the way the documentation is presented. I'd also like to congratulate my colleagues for a very, very robust, well thought out, well researched approach to the process over the past 8 months. And I make those prefaces because we have lived and come through a very substantial amount of change and upset and upheaval in the community, the region from top to bottom being in somewhat of a chaotic position, and we found ourselves coming in this term of council right in the thick of that, and so it has a context. However, I can't get past page 6. What will the rates increase be? 19.6, 18.1, out here 9%. I appreciate the notion that our expenditure, the relative expenditure, the actual quantum, is relatively small, but at the end of the day, it's our job to look at the entire business as a whole and recognise the nature of the rating base that we've got to fund it. And we've gone, and this document tells us the average residential ratepayer will now pay $587 in 2024-25. Going back, we find that in 5 years ago, in 2021, they were paying $293. So we've had a doubling, more than a doubling of the rate take over that period of time. And if I'm looking in from a ratepayer's perspective, and in this case, I'm there to reflect the eyes of the Napier ratepayers or Ahuriri ratepayers, what's happened in that 5 years is we've been flooded out twice. Can we see an improvement to the environment? Is our estuary and our coastline better off? Can we get around the city better, etc.? So a whole host, if you like, outcomes for the community. And sadly, I'd have to say that the outcome for our community possibly doesn't reflect a doubling of their rates. And that's something we need to be somewhat sober around. While accepting the circumstances we're in, I do think this is not a reflection on staff. I think that at the end of the day, the buck stops around the council table, that we have missed an opportunity, and that the opportunity is there to reshape the business. I think that the Regional Council's business, in the words of my colleague, Councillor Williams, is that it's become expanded rapidly and it's become complicated. I think this was an opportunity to, if you like, reduce the level of service and to uncomplicate it, simplify it. And I don't think we did that. I think we missed a trick, and I can see the circumstances why, but I am looking forward to the feedback. Perhaps there's an open window there or an open door by way of submission and comments from the community to potentially make some changes, possibly too late. I appreciate that we've resigned ourselves to kick the can down the road. I think that's a mistake. I think we ought to have reframed, reshaped, reformatted the business and taken this opportunity. But I will wait for the comments of the communities we represent to confirm or otherwise that outcome. I would say that, finally, Madam Chair, that the consultation process is not constrained to a quantum of submissions that maybe come across our desks and we consider. We're out there talking to the community, we're out there meeting the community and taking on board the comments that are there around it. And that is the quantum we ought to look at, rather than those that take the trouble to do that. So, Madam Chair, I support the resolution, but do so with some significant reservations around that. I look forward to the consultation process and ultimately the adoption of a plan, hopefully a little bit more modified than what we've got today. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Kirton.